Hi, everybody. Okay, this is Father the Bride Part 2. Now, of course, it's a continuation of the first one, but I have to say the date is two years later, so 1993. I've seen this happen a lot with sequels. They do a movie, and if it's really successful, then within 2 years they do the sequel. And if it's really, really successful, they do three, four, as many as they can get by with. So this is part two. Okay. The funny part about this is that, of course, Annie comes back, and all the principal players are back. So there's no new faces here, which is nice because you can get the familiarity thing. You already know all the people, you know the players, so um okay. So Annie comes back to the house because she's now pregnant. Um and everybody thinks she's pregnant, but she hasn't announced it yet. So she comes home and she has Brian with her, and everybody's waiting for the big announcement. So the little brother, Maddie, played by Kieran Culkin, kind of ruins it and says, "Oh, I, they're all trying to guess what it is." And he says, "Oh, I thought you were gonna have a baby." And so she kind of does. She tells him, but doesn't tell him. And she's like, "Well, all your wishes came true. I'm pregnant. I'm gonna have a baby." So they're like all jumping up and down. Okay. So after that, George and Nina, her parents, have a romantic rendezvous one night, and lo and behold, Nina gets pregnant. Now, Nina is not elderly by any extent, but even in the 90s, which is so archaic, the thought of someone older than 50 being pregnant and having a child was unheard of. So they had to deal with those stereotypes and everything, and they dealt with it and said, and even George said, "I thought we were gonna be on the way to retirement, relaxing, and now we have to do it again." And do you know how old we are? And Diane Keaton is great. She says, "Yes, I know how old I am. Yes, I know how old I'm gonna be when this and that happened. But it's great. We're gonna have a baby." Um, so okay. So then, of course, the next part of it is somehow mysteriously, Brian has to go out of town to be an international communication consultant, his job, and he can't be there um, while Annie's pregnant because they're also sure that there's no way she's gonna deliver um, this soon, so they think they have time, right? Okay, so Annie is technically more pregnant than Nina because she's about a month ahead. But Nina, they have they have the baby when they're supposed to, but of course, to make it more comical, they have to have the baby kind of at the same time. So Annie goes into labor first, and Nina doesn't think she's going to labor, but she has sharp back pains, which is a sign of possible delivery, labor, I mean, but she doesn't think it. So then the doctor, who happens to be very young, named Megan, says, "Well, okay, I know what you mean, but I just feel better if you know, because I think you might be." So it turns out she's going to go into labor as well. So then Franck, the wedding planner from the first movie, happens to be around, and also they give the two of them a double baby shower. So Franck and his partner are in this movie too, as the baby shower planner, and the nursery. So, um, yeah. Okay. So they have the baby at the same time, and miraculously again, Brian comes back from out of town just in time to have the baby born, before the baby's born. So, okay, spoiler alert on this one, slightly. Um, Annie and Brian have a boy, and George and Nina have another daughter, which they name Megan. And also, there's another controversy about what they should name the child because apparently, which I was not aware of, your first child you're supposed to name after someone in the family or something. I don't know. So they ultimately named the baby George. So, yeah. Sorry for the spoiler, but yeah. It's really funny. I can't really explain the comedic times because you have to watch it. And of course, it's funny for the obvious reasons because now there's not the contentious thing. There's the, you know, not wanting to deliver the baby at the same time. And you have George running himself ragged and all that stuff. So that's slightly funny. And then, of course, the going back and forth is funny. You just have to watch for yourself. But like I said, I just happened to catch it online. So, and I haven't watched it for at least, I don't know, 15 years or something. It's been a long time. So, um, and I did kind of laugh. So the comedy holds up and everything. But once again, it's one of those stories that just holds up because you can relate to it, no matter what age you are. Either you can see it in your future or you can dream about it because it's going to happen to you. So, check these two out. Hopefully you'll watch part Father of the Bride first and Father of the Bride part 2 second. But alright guys.